To be the man that will be loved and respected in the eyes of God, we must live life beyond survival. There was this guy I used to know as far back as 2012. I knew this guy as a Megad. I left him um around towards the end of 2012. I went to school then. I spent 4 years in school. I came back and I still met this guy as a Megad. I went for NYSC. I came back after 1 year and I still met this guy as a Megad. And this time around, he has already married. And before all of that, his dream was to like go to school because he said in his family, none of his sibling, none of his family members has graduated from school. So he wanted to go to school by all means. But one of the major challenges was the fact that he has his parents depending on him, even for the fact that he's still doing a menial job with a small salary. His two parents are still depending on him. And to worsen the matter, he got married in that awkward situation. And like about 2 months ago, we met each other. We just came across each other like that. He got to like tell me that he's still working as a guard, but now in a different place. And this time around, he already has a baby, not just wife now. The parents are depending on him, the wife and the child that he had given birth to are all depending on him. Now tell me, how would you expect that kind of person to get beyond survival? Though people have done that, people have gone beyond survival in a condition that is even worse than his situation. But one thing that I want you to know is the fact that that guy was trapped in a survival mode because of the fact that he had so many people depending on him and the small salary that is just coming in for him. All because his parents have their own parents depending on them. And as the whole thing is going, that same guy may likely depend on his own children too. Because as the things are going for him now, if care is not taken, he's going to depend on his children and he's going to keep the cycle. The cycle is going to keep going. And that is how many families in Africa are living their life. Because we have been programmed that old age is the time to depend on your children. So we tend to live life carelessly when we are still young because we know that our children are going to grow up and they are going to be more successful than us. So even if we don't invest, even if we don't take life serious, our children are going to take life serious and they are going to change us. They are going to like cater for us when we are at age like 60, 70. That is just the brainwash. Whereas in real sense, every parent or grandparents are supposed to have their children and their grandchildren to depend on them and the investment that they have done over the years. Not it shouldn't be other way round for them old men to fall back on their children and serve as a burden to them. So for you and I, on this journey of self-reliance, we must do everything possible to change the narrative. The narrative of having parents depending on their children and their grandchildren, because that is really keeping us in a survival mode from generation to generation. So, what I want us to look into on this very session is how we can get beyond survival and thrive as God desires us to be. So, ensure to watch the video from the beginning to the end, because there's so much value that I believe that you are going to get from this very video. So, the very first thing that we must do on this journey of self-reliance to live above or beyond survival is to first of all get convinced that God created us for a great cause. Is to first of all believe both subconsciously and consciously that you and I were destined for greatness. We have to believe like it shouldn't be something that we just mouth in and say, oh, I'm destined for greatness, I'm destined for this, I'm destined for that. No, it should be something that is registered within you. Like even if you are sleeping, you can see yourself on that journey, heading towards that direction of being everything that God created you to be. It has to be a matter of life and death for you. Just like 50 Cent said that he's going to get rich or die trying. That is a big word. He has a great conviction that like this thing is a matter of life and death. Nothing is going to stop him. He wasn't concerned about his village people. He wasn't concerned about the people that don't want him to succeed. He's not bothering himself with such thought. The only thought in his mind is that to get rich or die trying. Because why we tend to like pay so much attention to the devil is because of the fact we are not convinced that that which we want is sure for us. If you are well convinced as to what you want with your life or what you want to accomplish, devil is too small to stop you. And that is why you have God. So instead of believing or agreeing with the devil that he's going to stop you, why not agreeing with God that God is going to aid you in doing everything possible? In our society today, we tend to like believe the devil more than God. In our mind, we are saying, oh, I believe in God, I believe in God, but subconsciously, we believe in the devil more than God. And it is what you believe in your subconscious mind that will work for you. It is not what you are professing. If you like, tell God I want to be great. Tell God I want to be rich. It is not what you are just mouthing that's going to work. It's what your inner man is saying. That is why sometimes you don't even need to open your mouth when you are praying, because your subconscious mind is doing the prayer already, whether you know it or not. And that is why Apostle Paul says that we should pray without ceasing. Apostle Paul knows that even if you are walking, even if you are at anywhere, if you are like if you are the restroom, if you are in the prison, if you are like what should I say? Like if you are in any place, you don't need to be in the church or anywhere or in the mosque. Anywhere you are praying consciously or unconsciously. You are praying because your thoughts, like what you are thinking, is a prayer, and the most dominant thought in you is that which is going to be manifested in your life. So we have to first of all get convinced that a life beyond survival is possible for us. It is a sure thing, something that is so real to us. So that is the very first thing we need to do in order to get beyond survival. Anyone that is living that kind of life that you want to live, they might not be a Christian, they might not be a Muslim, they might not be a Buddhist, but they know that there's a power in the universe that is in charge of their life, that is going to bring good things to their life. And that is why when Elon Musk was asked whether he believes in God, he said he said he believes that there is power in the universe that is controlling everything. So he's not the kind of person that attach himself to any religion. He knows that God is siding with all religion, and every free thinker know that they don't need to side with any religion. They don't need to affiliate themselves with any religion. But they know within themselves that there is God. So there's nobody in this world that will they might tell you that there is no God, but within themselves they know that there is God. And they don't need to affiliate themselves with any religion before they can communicate with that God. So we have to get convinced. That is the first thing. So the second thing is to get to know yourself, your strength, and your core values. Then develop a goal around who you know yourself to be and your core values. The reason why it is kind of being hard to get ahead in life for majority of us is because of the fact that we are so vague, we are so kind of diffuse in terms of goals. We don't have specific goals that we are working at any point in time. We are just pushing until death meet us on the way. We don't have any specific target that we are working towards. We are just walking. Anything that comes our way, we tend to see it as work. We tend to do things until when death meet us. No, that should not be an attribute of someone that is trying to be self-reliant. A self-reliant person knows that God is on his side, and by crafting a goal to work on, there's power in the universe that is going to aid him in getting that thing done. And that is why you will notice that whenever you set a particular goal, that by the end of this month or by the end of this year I'm going to get this thing, and you seriously go out there intentionally to do that, you won't bother whether you are sleeping well or not. That goal will set you on fire. You'll be working day and night. Your energy will be ceaseless because there's a power that is working in alignment with that goal to ensure that that goal is being realized. But without goals, that power cannot aid you in anything. You're just going to be moving in circle, just surviving, living for what you can eat today and tomorrow, because there's no particular goal that you are working toward. So God or the power in the universe is not going to aid you because you don't give him a particular goal to work on. It's just like your laptop. If you don't put any input for that laptop to work on, you're not going to get the desired output that you want because you are so vague in your input. You are just putting anything that comes, you just put it in the computer. How will you get your desired outcome? So we must get to know ourselves, get to know our core values, and then set goal around it, and then go to work. So that is the second thing. The third thing that we need to do in order to get beyond survival is to think long term. We must get rid of instant gratification. Society is full of people that are just driven towards instant gratification. We have that instant gratification syndrome, that short term syndrome. What I can grab today, the job that can put food on my table. Even if we come across an opportunity that will like make us to live a thriving life instead of a surviving life, we bypass it because that opportunity may like require 5 to 10 years before you will like reap the fruit of that labor. But because the distance is kind of like too far from you, you're going to say, oh, no, 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 let me just settle for this job that will pay me at the end of the month. I'll collect I'll collect 100K, I'll collect 150, I'll collect 200. If we really want to get beyond survival, we must think long term. A farmer that is planting cocoa has to exercise patience more than the farmer that is just planting tomato, because the person that is planting tomato is just going to harvest that tomato just once, and then that tomato has gone. But unlike the person that planted tomato, the person that planted cocoa, it is going to take a long time for that cocoa to produce. But once that cocoa has produced, it is going to keep producing. You don't need much more effort again. Yours is just to go to the farm and be plugging cocoa for as many years you want. You may even leave that cocoa. You will die, leave that cocoa, and then your children will be like plucking it because you have a long term perspective in your thinking. So we must develop long term thinking if we truly want to live beyond survival. So that's number three. So the fourth thing that we need to do to get beyond survival is for us to be ready to work until we see the result of what we are working for. I want to see, anybody that you see today that is successful, that is just telling you that, oh, it is grace of God, it is grace, it is grace, it is grace, as if to say he has the monopoly of God's grace. That person is a great deceiver. Anybody that is successful today, there is no power anywhere that is just flushing money into his account. It's not any grace. So majority of people, like, I don't want to call pastor, but let me use pastor. Majority of pastors that are telling you that their success is as a result of grace, they are not telling you the truth. Those men are hard workers. They are workaholics. While you are sleeping, they are they are uh, they are having sleepless night to prepare sermon. They are having sleepless night to write a book that you will buy. While you are sleeping, they are planning businesses like what what to use their money. Hmm? The money that is coming into their church, they are planning the business that they can do with that money that is coming into the church. They are going to use it to set up a new business elsewhere. That is when you say a pastor has university, he has hospital, he has hotel. And where do you think that he's getting those money from? He's a hard worker. He's selling books. Do you think it's easy to write a book? It takes a lot of time to write one book, and you can see that your pastor has authored like 400 books. Like Pastor Sunday Adelaja, only him has written like close to 1,000 books. Not to talk of Bishop Oyedepo. That man, in fact, he's one of the great workaholic in this country. He's a hard worker. So it's not any grace that is working for them. It's not any grace that is working for any successful man that you see. They are hard worker. In fact, they are workaholic. So don't get deceived that the grace of God is working for someone else and it's not working for you. No. We'll talk more on that, or I'll have a particular topic for that one. So let me not just divert to that. So the fourth thing is to like get clear on the fact that to get the results you want, you have to be an ardent hard worker. There's no form of prayer that you are going to like pray that those things that you want is going to come to you without working. And that is why the Bible says that prayer without work is dead. I'm kind of like quoting too much Bible this and I don't want to let the Muslim brothers among us to feel like, so I'll start quoting Quran. All right. So the last thing is this one is much more important. The last thing is to use leverage. To use leverage as much as possible. Yes, I'm going to talk more on this. See, anyone that is making impact in the society, anyone that is kind of like being successful that you are aspiring to be like or to surpass, is a master strategist in using leverage to advance his cause. And what are those leverage? We have human leverage. Your boss that you are working on is leveraging on you to advance his own cause. That is one of the leverage. We have capital leverage. People that are advancing in life, they are using other people's money to advance their own cause. They are using other people's knowledge. They are using other people's labor. They are using other people's time to advance themselves. When you see Dangote thriving, you cannot see Dangote driving a cement truck. You cannot see Dangote in the factory producing cement by himself. You will never see Dangote in a factory producing spaghetti by himself. He has people in different categories that are representing him, and then he will give them fine title. Director of spaghetti, director of Dangote's cement factory. He will give them fine names, like, because in this part of the country we love title. So if someone want to employ you, he will look for one better title that will make you to like salivate. So we need to use leverage. It is like your boss that you are working for or your business partner that you are working alongside with, because some of us are business people sha. So like the people that you are working with, one thing that is advancing them is leverage. It's not that they are better than you. And as an employee, the only leverage that you are leveraging on is your time, whereas your boss is leveraging on like thousands people's time to his own time. How can you compete with him? No, because you are serving one person. You are using your own time alone, whereas your boss is using like 100 times your own time. How can you cope up with him? That is why as soon as we get into a corporate system, we must work as fast as possible to go and set up our own firm, because it is very hard to be as rich as you want to reach by just settling for employment. Employment is not bad, but settling for it is not going to get us anywhere. We should just use employment as a ladder to wherever we are going. So to thrive beyond survival, to move beyond survival, we must learn how to use leverage, to leverage on other people's time, other people's knowledge, other people's capital, other people's strength. So we have to use as many leverage as much as possible. So that is what I believe, that if we can like follow all these steps, there's no how we won't get beyond survival, because survival is not the will of God for us. It's just the society that has brainwashed us to just settle for survival. So if we can follow those steps, they are going to do a great good in our life. So that is all I have for us for now. And if you have not subscribed to the channel and you love what we are doing, then you can subscribe to the channel so that you can be part of us on this movement of self-reliance, and then share um, the video with as many people as possible too. This is not a religious movement. It's despite the fact I'm posting Bible, it's not a religious platform, but it's just that I'm kind of like being inclined to Bible somehow. That is why I'm kind of like quoting Bible. So when I know how to quote Quran, I've started learning Quran. I have audio book on that, so I'm going to like citing Quran from there, because I believe that each and every religion is working for God, and God is on the side of all religion in this world. So we have to carry ourselves along. So that is all I have for us uh, at this moment.